It was one of the great time stamps for my generation, like 9/11 is for a later generation. Well, everyone knows what they were doing that day. I was shooting baskets in the gymnasium at my high school. I was a freshman. I was gym class, and someone came in and said they shot the president or shot Kennedy. I can't even remember. And there was an unreal aspect to it. It's hard to really explain in America of 2013, 50 years later, how profound the shock was, the emotional shock was, and how long-lasting it was. It was like America stopped, the world stopped. And I remember going to English class where I had to recite a poem from memory that day. It was Edgar Allan Poe, The Bells, I still remember, and I just tearing up while in front of the class, tearing up while I was doing it. Coming home, and the next day, of course, Kennedy's pictures was in all the papers, and cutting out a picture and taping it to my bedroom wall of the president. And all over America, people were doing things like that, personal things, and people headed to Washington for the funeral, and it was the difference was there was a huge questioning of how could this happen in America. John F. Kennedy was really the president of a younger generation of Americans. I mean, there were two wonderfully memorable lines from his inaugural speech in 1961, still remembered today. One is the famous, "The torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans" line. And the other line, which came near the end, was, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." The Kennedy family does not want any of this. They have for years said they do not like the idea of commemorating John F. Kennedy's death, even though I think Ted or a family member would go to his gravesite in Arlington National Cemetery on the anniversary of his death. But for instance, the Kennedy School at Harvard, which is a very lasting legacy of the Kennedy family, a very important institution, is barred holding any events around the death. And I remember hearing Carolyn once saying, "We want people to remember my father's birthday, not the day of his death." Unfortunately, that's not reality. I had to look it up. His birthday is May 29th, but you can't. I don't think you could find anyone except maybe family members and a few very close friends. Maybe someday it will be celebrated like the birthday of Washington or Lincoln or other presidents. Maybe not, but the Kennedy family has a very different view of this day and this anniversary than I think most Americans are experiencing right now.